demystifying this whole like ohms, impedance, and all of that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare, isn't it?
Could you break that down? Or just how it works and how it affects the sound and tone.
Don't worry about it tonally. Essentially, with solid state amps, they have a minimum impedance they're happy driving. As the impedance goes up, the amount of power they can put out decreases, but if the impedance goes down, eventually the amp starts trying to put out more power than it can cope with, and it goes into overcurrent clipping, or it overheats and shuts down and fails. With solid state amps. With valve amps, tube amps, and you'll know if you've got one of those because it'll weigh disproportionate amount and will break occasionally and cost you more money to run. They're the other way around. They don't like seeing a high impedance. They need to be running lower impedances.
What would a low impedance be?
So you could run, say you've got a 4 ohm minimum solid state amp. Don't run below 4 ohms. It won't like it. Say you've got a valve amp which has got an 8 ohm tap and a 4 ohm tap. If you've got a 2.7 ohm rig, say it's a 4 ohm and 8 ohm cab together, it'll be fine on the 4 ohm tap, it won't care. But I wouldn't put them in series to make like 12 ohms and run it off the 8 ohm tap. It won't like. Actually, it'll be okay with that. You can go sort of 2 to 1 either way. So the valve amp will be fine on an 8 ohm tap running a 16 ohm load and a 4 ohm load. But choose the 4 ohm one rather than the 16 ohm one if you can. They're happier lower than higher. But go beyond that and it gets a bit sad. This is the sort of stuff that it's a real pain because it's really complicated electronics, this stuff. It's a lot of difficult physics, and I just don't think as a musician you should be thinking about it.
Oh, I don't think about it as a player.
That's my point. I don't think as someone purchasing gear it should be your problem. I think it's the sort of thing where you should ask whoever is supplying you with the gear, and they should know the stuff. And that is a problem because I wouldn't expect everyone in a guitar shop to know this, but it's difficult. So we'll answer your question on that, but and I'll put out videos trying to explain it. But if you're not maths inclined, if you're not physics inclined, it's really difficult, boring stuff to get your head around.
So how would you explain it in like the simplest way possible for a player if you were explaining ohms and impedance and what they need?
I'd just ask someone who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Find someone who actually knows what they're talking about. If you get stuck, email me, and if I get too many emails with people emailing me about ohms, I'll have to do a video like Ringo saying no more emails about ohms.